Let us take a few deep breaths, maybe 3. Watch the TV screen of your mind. Let it bring to the forefront whatever it is that it's dwelling upon. It will show up as images, sometimes as conversations, sometimes as songs. Breathe it out. Resume your normal breath. Again, watch the TV screen. If you still see something, let's go ahead and breathe it out. Let's again look at the screen. And now that it's blank, this is that state of thoughtlessness, the center, the truth, the presence of the Divine Mother, the presence of Swamiji. In this state, everything is okay. Let us put our hands together, close to our heart, shoulders even, relaxed, head bowed. Akhila Jaganmato Ma Tamasa Tapena Cha Akulanasman Anugrunnat Anukampa Sudhardraya Hasita Chandrikaya. Mannath Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaganmatruke Pahima. The truth of invocation is, every time the Divine Mother is invoked, she comes. The mind definitely doubts of her presence upon invocation. And when we breathe out and we center ourselves, that's the invocation. That's when we willfully decide, okay, let me leave the confines of the mind, let me seek guidance within. Hence I sent, seek within, find within. Because the goal of these 40 days is not to be completely out of depression and be like, oh my God, I feel great. That could happen too. But the goal of these 40 days is to be connected to the source within. That source is the source of all knowing, all healing, all knowledge, all bhav, whatever the treasure that you can think of lies within, just a breath away. That's the whole point of these 40 days. It's not to completely heal yourself. But that being said, the source, because we try to understand everything with our mind, with our limited understanding, we think the source is just like the mind. It's not. The source is so powerful. That source is called the Anandamaya Kosh. There are Panchakosh, and Panchakoshantara Sthita is the Divine Mother. There are many layers which are called avaran, conditionings, veils, and behind those is that Anandamaya Kosh, the bliss body. It is not a joke to be able to touch the bliss body. Don't take it as a nonchalant event. Every time you willfully center yourself, you are empowered with a flood of energy. But because the mind thinks, oh, it's just a second, now what's going to happen? It's like going from this room to that room for a second. Really, nothing much will change. The mind fathoms it like that. The mind thinks, if I just go from here to there, what's going to change? Nothing. So probably the center is just also like that. It's not. Even a second in the bliss body. Think about it. We get to meet Swamiji for maybe 2-3 minutes. In those 2-3 minutes, the warmth of those 2-3 minutes carries on with us for sometimes a year until we get to meet him again. But here I am introducing you to this very small technique, very simple technique. Just make the connection, have that private meeting. 1 second is enough. And you will see when you have practiced all day, at night before going to bed, if you are like, oh, let me just go back to my source within before I go to sleep, you can be there for like 10-15 seconds, with no problem at all. 10-15 seconds later, you let your attention be at the screen of the mind. As soon as the mind brings about a thought, be prepared, revel. Oh yes, I get to breathe out and empty that thought. Make it a fun event. If you make it a practice, a path, a journey, I got a long way to go, all these labels, like Meera sent, शब्दों के जंगल में तू क्यों फंसा है? तेरी नस नस में परमात्मा बसा है. Why put all these labels? I get so many messages. I got a long way to go. I'm still very far. Okay, if you want to be far, you can be far. Your mind gives you a suggestion. Oh, you're still very far. You got a long way to go. And you willfully accept it. Okay, yes, I'm very far. I got a long way to go. Yeah, Anu is there. Swamiji is there maybe. I'm never going to get there. 40 days, what's going to happen in 40 days? I'm never going to get there. You take that suggestion. I refuse to take any suggestion from my mind. You try telling me something, I just smile. I just smile at my mind saying, you still trying? I have given up on you long time ago. You're still trying? I admire your dharma, your swadharma. The mind also has its swadharma to continuously keep giving you suggestions. You are this, you are that. It gives you labels. You're a long way ago, you're still far away. You're not going to reach there in 40 days. What are you thinking? Refuse to take any suggestions from the mind. And this strength comes from the source within. It cannot come from my talks. It cannot come from Swamiji's talks, because he has been doing this forever and we are still the same, still suffering from the suggestions of our own minds. Hence, these 40 days is only and only and only to establish that connection within. Once that connection is established, anything is possible. And I think Meera had sent, I'm not sure, but I was listening to Swamiji's one of the lectures, and he says there are two paths, the organic and inorganic path. The organic path is you keep taking birth after birth after birth after birth. You drop a little bit, then you take birth, you accumulate more, then you drop a little bit. Eventually, some lifetime, you will get there. That's the organic path. Because as Swamiji says, the law of nature is growth. It will only move towards growth. So people will continue to keep suffering, hoping hoping to learn something out of that suffering, but you are continuously suffering, you continue to suffer. And then there is this inorganic path. The inorganic path, you need a catalyst. That catalyst is a Sadguru. So if you have a guru in your life, whether you are a disciple or not, forget it. If you have access to a guru in your life, you have that in the seed form in you to be a Jivan Mukt. Everyone who has a guru in their life, they have the potential to be Jivan Mukt, to attain Mukti. And I need not remind you, we all have Swamiji. If you look at that post, Hungry Baba and the New Normal, you will see there is a beautiful scenery, and then there is this train that's visible, and then eventually the train goes into a tunnel, becomes invisible. Does that mean the train doesn't exist? The train still exists. It is not available like how it was before. That's his hidden message. I'm not here for too long. However long I am here, visible like that train, utilize this time. Once I'm gone, I'll still be available, not as obvious. The train in the tunnel is still present. It's not going to just disappear. It's still going to be there. Maybe not to the senses. It's not available to the senses to fathom. So while we still have Swamiji around us, while we still have access to his presence outside of us, let us make an effort to access his presence within. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of these 40 days. You know, this depression, if you see, is nothing but suffering. Suffering because we have become habituated to accepting every damn suggestion the mind has to give. The mind will throw a label. Oh, you're a long way. You're far, far away from that state. Are you really centered? That's it. We gleefully accept it. Yes, you're right, mind. I'm far away. And then we start typing messages. I still have a long way to go. I'm still far away. When I read those messages, I have nothing but, I'm like, that's my only emoji there. Like, I'm done with these messages. Don't think you're far away. There's nowhere to go. Right now, let's go ahead, breathe out and center ourselves. Wherever you may be, you are there already. Where are you going to go? Let's say you are sitting right now on the beach of Hawaii. Let's go ahead and go to Hawaii on a beach. Now we are all sitting on the beach side in Hawaii. Let us breathe out and center ourselves. You're there. Same place. Let's all go to Himachal. Let's all sit in the Sri Hari temple. Breathe out and center yourself. You're there. Let us all go back 10 years behind to however we used to look. Wherever we may be 10 years ago, let's just sit down there. Breathe out and center yourself. Now let us go 20 years ahead of ourselves. Let us all imagine ourselves to be old people. Breathe out, center yourself. You can open your eyes. Sorry to break your bubble, you're still there. There is really nowhere to go. This whole journey, my spiritual path, drop it. There is nowhere to go but here. There's nowhere to be but here. There is no time like the present moment. There's really nowhere to go. Nothing to do. This this whole spiritual path, my spiritual journey, these 40 days. Let's go ahead 40 days. You'll still be there. Where you can be in 40 days, you can be there right now. Such is the power of the present moment. So let us not get overwhelmed about these 40 days. These 40 days are right here. Because being here, you can be tomorrow, you can be yesterday, you can be 20 years ahead of time, you can go anywhere. You can go on Mars, you can go on Moon, nowhere, no matter where you go, center yourself and you're still there. There is nowhere to go. Realizing thus, drop this forever. I have a long way to go. I'm not going to take that suggestion. Oh mind, drop it. I don't know if I'll reach there. I'm already there. What's going to happen in 40 days? Those 40 days are right here at this moment. Nowhere to go but here. No place to be but here. And that is Divine Mother's name called Shambhavi. Shambhavi means Antar Lakshya Bahir Drishti. You're doing whatever it is that you're doing centered. You're centered. No matter where you go, come back home, come back home, come back home. It's really as simple as that. Next, let's talk about the suffering of depression, the suffering of everyday life. I'm sure by now, most of you have seen how the suffering is nothing but self-created misery. Your mind comes up with some suggestion, you take it and then you suffer. That's suffering. And as Buddha says, suffering can only be removed. The only way to remove suffering is to have samyak drishti. Complete, samyak is sampurna. Samyak is a perspective that is complete. And that complete perspective cannot be achieved by a limited mind. It is only and only when you drop the mind is when you are complete. And as I said, there are no celebrations, there are no fireworks that's going to go in the sky, there are no visions that you're going to see, there are no colored lights that you're going to see, no ohms hanging inside your mind. None of that is going to happen. It's just a very simple state. And that is what truth is. Swamiji's one of the videos, he says, truth is what is, not what should be. I'll tell you what should be is first. What should be is when I center myself, I must feel this wave of bliss. Because I have always read the word bliss with wave. So I must feel this thrill within me. Oh, wait a second, none of that is happening. I guess I'm not centered. That's it, you accepted that and then you're like, I really don't know how to center. Comes the second suggestion. Yes, I accepted it. Yeah, you're right. I really don't know how to center. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. You know, I've never done anything right in my life. I don't know why I am like this. There are 100 people, they're all centering. Why am I the only one not able to center? You see how the flow of suggestions is non-stop. Because the mind is so good at its swadharma. Its swadharma, its inherent duty is to keep bombarding. And we, like the meek, limited beings that we think we are, we accept it. And if you read Swami Vivekananda's writings, he says, roar like a lion. Your center, your source is so powerful. The presence is so powerful, the personality becomes nothing in front of it. So access it. All suffering is purely because we accept whatever it is that we think the mind, whatever it is that the mind is suggesting, which is why the first step to healing, the first step to a joyous life, the first step in the art of living is creating a distance. This is my mind, this is me. This is my mind giving me a suggestion, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. I have a choice. No, I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want it. Eventually, in another video, Swamiji says, there are two bulls. If they fight, who's going to win? The one who's well fed. So if you feed yourself in the presence, the personality will drop away. I get so many private messages, and as I read, I only read people's minds now, because it's their minds writing up all of that. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Even if I tell them, these are just labels your mind is giving you. These are just labels. These are just labels that your mind is giving you. Sometimes it's hard for them to understand because they have gone way too far accepting those suggestions. And it's very hard for me to bring them back, saying, no, wait a second. You took that route, that your mind gave you a suggestion that, let's say you're a Buddhu. You've already gone that route pretty far. It's going to be hard for me to just pull you back saying, drop the mind. So realize what suggestions you are accepting first. The most beautiful part about centering yourself and dropping that thought, if you had that Sukshma Drishti, of course I also don't have that Sukshma Drishti, but I feel it. You exhaust your karmic load. Because think about an action. How does an action start? It starts with a thought. Pursued for a long time becomes a desire. That desire eventually turns into an action. That action is your karma. So all our actions exist within us as seed forms in the chitta. And as it keeps rising as thoughts, you are this, you are that, maybe you should do this, maybe you're not going to get there, maybe you have a long way to go, maybe you'll never get there. These are all, chitta vrittis coming up. And you dropping them, a huge karmic load is just coming off. Someone asked Swamiji, does vase breathing exhaust karma? Of course, he smiled. He said, no, vase breathing is not going to exhaust your karma. But while you are doing vase breathing and you're focusing on doing the vase breathing and a thought comes, you are mindful to drop it. Oh, wait a second, I don't want to pursue this. I'm doing my vase breathing. So that one karma is dropped. Imagine doing that all day long. You're just centering yourself, dropping, centering, dropping, centering, dropping. And as Komal mentioned in her write-up, she said, then life becomes like as if you're floating on water, effortless. In Swamiji's Dhyan Yoga, he says, the day you stop putting effort, that's the day you actually start meditating. Then meditation stops being a verb. It becomes a noun. Right now we are meditating. We are doing meditation. Eventually, meditation will become your natural state. And what is that natural state? You're just aware, oh wait, my mind is giving me some suggestion. Sorry, I'm not interested. Sometimes you will take up the suggestion and you will start feeling a little low. As soon as you feel a little low, you'll be alert. Wait, what took me out of this state of bliss? This thought, drop it. But now it's already become an emotion. So it's going to take some time. It's okay. I have accepted that thought is untrue. But since I have gone a little far with this thought, it has turned into an emotion. No problem. In a few hours, it will go away. No big deal. Someone posted on the group that the kingdom of Jesus can only be accessed if you have the childlike innocence, right? What is childlike innocence? If you see a child playing, let's say, my son is playing here, and if the house is messy, he won't question, why is this house messy? He'll continue to play. If he sees a piece of bread on the floor, he won't question, why is this bread here? He'll continue to play. Our problem is, for everything happening in our lives, we have why, when, where, how. We want to know. We want to judge. If you are, let's say, looking at these flowers in front of me, and you're like, oh, these are orange flowers. Done. No karma. You're not creating any karmic load. You look at these flowers and say, wait, I see inside is yellow, outside is orange. Why did it happen this way? They must have put some kind of chemical in it. I don't know what these people are doing nowadays, putting chemicals in flowers. They have no eye for beauty of nature. They want to just destroy everything. That's how mankind is nowadays. No one cares for anyone. What did you just do? You judged that flower, and then now you're somewhere else, far away. That's, if you have read the Song of Mahamudra, or at least heard it in Swamiji's meditation video, he says, let things be the way they are. The non-judgmental awareness. Everything is there. I'm sitting here, that's the sofa, these are the flowers, that's the kitchen. Everything is there. Why is it there? The why creates involvement. The why brings us out of the center. Which is why dropping the questions is so important. You're feeling a certain way. Did you decide yesterday that I want to feel this way tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock? You didn't decide, but you started feeling certain way. First, why am I feeling this way? Yesterday I was feeling so good. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Maybe I'll never reach there. There, somewhere, I don't know, something created by the mind, somewhere. So be aware. The whole point of these 40 days is twofold. Bring your awareness high, high, high up. Second, seek within, find within. If you only seek within, you will find within. And when I say within, it doesn't mean, okay, now I have a question, I'm going to close my eyes and keep looking for some words that are going to pop out. No. If you have a question, center yourself and drop that question inside. I would like to know the answer to this. And just wait. Not wait as in sit there and just keep waiting. Go about your normal business. The answer will come to you as twofold. One, the true answer, which you need to know to move spiritually. Or you will know it was not, what a pointless question, and you will drop it. Just there are only two ways that can happen. So seek within, find within. And when you can go about in your life, and this doesn't happen overnight either. I'm still watching myself as I look. A lot of my judgment has already fallen away. A lot of it. But there is still a lot more that needs to be dropped. As I look, I'm not able to just look at things without asking why. You look at something and you're like, oh, why is this like this? That's it. The innocence of a child is in non-judgmental awareness. The child is well aware of everything. The parents are inside the house, the TV is playing. Everything the child is aware of. Just playful, gleefully, just enjoying his day. Not questioning, why this, why that, why this, how this, how this. None of that. No questions. So if you need to know the answer to something, drop it within. Center yourself and drop that question very respectfully. I would like to know. And just go about your business then. Don't keep asking, oh, where's the answer? Where's the answer? The answer will come when you are perfectly ready to receive the wisdom of the answer. Till then, the search is useless. Drop the search and just be, just be, just be. And that just be state is not a state of statue. You're doing your stuff, you're doing everything, yet you are mindful what's going on. You're not letting any suggestion come to you. And this practice, you don't have to do it for years together. Just a few days of practice and many of you have realized how this mind just tricks us into making us feel bad. Like the last day of Surya Sadhana, 3 people had similar experiences. I toppled the water, someone forgot to blow on it, and someone, I think, forgot to put turmeric in it or something. Now what? You didn't plan to do these mistakes, they just happened. We are labeling them as mistakes. There are, like my son says, there are no mistakes, Mama, there are just happy accidents. Okay, if that's what makes you feel better, that's perfectly fine. And you know that reading comprehension passage I sent on the group, it's about these two girls, Susie and Lori. They're best of friends. Okay, and then in the class, a new girl comes, Mindy. Mindy is introduced by the teacher to everyone, saying, hey, this is Mindy, make her feel at home. And Mindy is seated next to Lori. So then Lori looks at Mindy and smiles. Lori looks at Mindy and smiles, and Mindy looks at Lori and smiles. This exchange of smile is seen by Susie, best friend of Lori. And then she starts feeling, oh, what's going to happen now? Am I going to lose my best friend? So as soon as the recess happens, they all go out. Mindy and Lori together go out. So what does Susie do? Susie first thinks, I don't think Lori wants to be my best friend anymore. First suggestion from the mind. She accepts it. Then what does she do? She goes to the side of the building and she sits down there. And then she thinks, I think Lori found a new friend. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a party at my house and I'm not going to invite them. So you see how she took the suggestion of the mind and then she cooked up an emotion, which is a feeling of rejection. I felt rejected. Susie said, Susie felt rejected. So she created an emotion because she accepted that one thought. And with that emotion, what did she do? She threw a party at her house. She invited all other kids except for those two girls, Mindy and Lori. But the other kids find out that her best friend was not invited. They don't show up. And then Lori shows up and says, hey, why did you not invite everyone? Why did you not invite us? That's why everyone else didn't come. So then Susie says, I'm so sorry. Then Lori says, I'm sorry too. And then everybody comes. They have a great time. What's the title of the story? Susie learns to forgive. You see how flawed this education system is. So the point of the story is you forgive. No, that's not the point of the story. And I'm proud to say my son got it right. He said the theme of the story is don't think useless. Because he understood what's there to get all upset about. The problem started with Susie. The problem is not with Lori or Mindy. And this is the story of our life. We go through some incident and we completely come up with a wrong conclusion, totally off conclusion. Oh, we should learn to forgive. No, don't even get there to begin with. Okay, if you have gotten there, you can forgive yourself for accepting the suggestion of the mind. It's got nothing to do with forgiving Lori. This is what we need to understand, that how a mind's suggestion arises from the storehouse of the chitta, and that is chitta shuddhi. This is the fastest way to chitta shuddhi. You're dropping. And that's what self-realization is, like Swamiji says, to have no covers. Because all these covers that we have, this is my body, I think like this, I am like this, I have a label, I'm a buddhu, I have a long way to go. These are all labels. They cover the true you. You keep dropping them and you keep realizing you're none of these. You are that, you are that, you are that. So access your center more and more and more. Understand what is the way it is the truth, is the present moment. You could be sitting right here thinking, I wish I was somewhere else. It doesn't help. Your physical body is right here in the satsang. You are in the satsang, whether you like it or not. And which is why the mind series, I mean, I hate to be redundant, but you know, the exhaustive amount of labels that I read in the messages. In just one message, there are 3-4 labels. It's just amazing how much we have accepted the crap from the mind. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's aggravating. Because I have suffered a lot accepting the crap from my mind. I refuse to suffer and I refuse to let others suffer this way. Hence, this endeavor. In Swamiji's depression book, he says, the type of thoughts and the type of emotions we harbor within reflect as people and circumstances without or outside. When Lord Shiva took the form of a guru, Paramatma himself takes various forms to impart different things, right? Mother becomes Lakshmi to give Aishwarya. Mother becomes Jaganmata to be the Empress of the creation. She herself becomes Kali. So, Paramatma, when Lord Shiva took the Guru Swarup, which is Dakshinamurti, most of his teachings happened in silence. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varshishtante Vasat Rishiganaihi Avartana Brahmanishthaihi. All of these Saptarishis with huge white dadis and white beard and all of these rishis were sitting under a Vatavriksha. And Lord Shiva, as a 16-year-old boy, young, was sitting under that Vatavriksha, and he was imparting the highest of knowledge in silence. There was nothing he was saying. He just held the chin mudra and he sat there. That silence, that his silence within was just calming their mind completely, was quietening their mind completely. And in that silence, they realized the highest truth. Highest of teachings are transmitted in silence. Be silent. All the while continuing all your worldly activities, be silent. You will not know when. And that is Swamiji's style. Very softly, gently, from within, he will release an arrow of knowledge. And you'll be like watching. I was watching a murder mystery. I had just finished watching a murder mystery. That's when the greatest of my realization came. As I shared on the group, it was not during Brahma Muhurt, because my mind thinks it's going to happen at 4 a.m. when I'll be in meditation, some fireworks will go on, some vision will come. All of that BS was dropped. I had even stopped watching TV because I thought I should not watch TV. I'm a serious seeker. I should not have fun. I should not smile too much. I should not laugh a lot. I had become a living dead. If arrival of the Divine Mother makes you that way, who the hell would want her? Everyone would be dead. So anyway, what I'm saying is silence. When you start becoming silent, 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 as in when you stop accepting suggestions of your mind and just be, just be, just be, that silence is enormously powerful. The energy you get from that silence, you cannot even describe in words. And then you just, before you know it, you're there. Many of us are already experiencing that. Before you know it, you're already in so much bliss. The amount of fluctuations of up and down, feeling this way, feeling that way, has already gone so much better, and we are just, 1 week into it. 1 week into it, and you're already seeing so much difference. Imagine what can be done in 40 days, in 2 months, in 3 months. So these 40 days are not that you should come out of 40 days and be totally healed. That's what should be. That's the creation of the mind. Because now the mind is scared. It's losing its grip. So it will start cooking up these things. Okay, going back to Dakshinamurti Stotra. In Dakshinamurti Stotra, he imparted the highest of knowledge in silence. And then Adiguru Shankaracharya composed the Dakshinamurti Stotra, wherein he is glorifying Dakshinamurti, the Guru Swarup of Lord Shiva, who imparted the highest of teachings in absolute silence. Absolute silence. And in that glorification, he says, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijam Targatam. Know this for a fact, that whatever you see outside of your life is a reflection of your inside. Hence, coming back to the centering. If you center, if you center, if you center, if you center, if you create your inside as the presence, your outside will change. Which is why, even before we started this series on depression, the very first thing was listen to the mind series. Clear up the garbage that you hold within. If you have difficult people you're dealing with, it is within you. And Swamiji confirms this. He says all the thoughts, all the emotions that you hold within get personified and show up outside. The outside is an absolute reflection of your inside. Don't fix the reflection, fix yourself. You know, many people say this is wrong in my life, that is wrong, I understand. I mean, I was there too. I had suffered too. You know, many things in my life were not going okay. You know, the kind of restlessness I had within me, it was showing up at my office, in my employees, the kind of patients I was attracting. It was showing up in my friends. It was showing up in my relations. It was showing up everywhere, the restlessness that I held within. And now, the peace and the silence I hold within shows up in my house, in my friend circle, in my relations, in my office, in my employees, in the kind of patients I attract, in the kind of doctors I work with. It shows up everywhere, even in the kind of the medical representatives that come to my office. It shows everywhere. That silence becomes your guard, if you want to. It just keeps everything that is not conducive to you far away from you. If you have a strong corner in your mind and you have this strong dislike for dishonesty, you will meet a lot of dishonest people in your life. Why? Because you have this strong fort within your mind, dislike for dishonesty. It's going to show up outside. If you absolutely hate people who criticize, you cannot stand people who are criticizing, they'll show up in front of you. Look at my own life. I cannot stand people who listen to their mind. And that's what we have here. Just kidding. Whatever you hold within, you will attract. So don't hold anything. Be the silence, be the presence within. Outside will all sort out, I promise. And this I'm not saying just from bookish knowledge or from the Dakshinamurti Stotra. This I'm telling you from my own personal experience. My life 2-3 years ago versus now, it's totally different. And it is all possible because the change has to come here. If you are standing in front of a mirror and if you're having a bad hair day, you cannot fix the hair in the mirror. That's what we try to do. We try to fix things in the life. We try to fix people in our lives. They're not going to get fixed because bad hair day is here, not in the image. So let us try to fix ourselves. And I promise you, have faith. You know, this journey, this path that we talk about, we don't know where the hell we are going because we are not going anywhere. But the mind says we are going somewhere, it's somewhere we are trying to reach. So it's an unknown journey, which is why rely on the Guru within. The Guru's guidance from within is the supreme. But to access that knowledge that lies just a thin veil is covering that. That is Maya. All these distractions, all of these suggestions of this is all Maya. But Maya is who we pray to, Mahamaya. Mahamaya Mahanilaya Manavakula Janani Malini Madanabala Nashini Bhavani Bhakta Sukha Daini. It is only the Divine Mother, it is only her refuge that can give us that Sukh. Bhavani Bhakta Sukhadayini. Not everyone Sukhadayini. Bhakta. Who is a Bhakt? The one who has surrendered to her will. And what is her will? What is her will. Whatever is happening right now is her will. To be completely in acceptance of her will is bhakti. That is it. That is the only description of bhakti, to continuously be in accordance with her will. And that's when you get to get that tattoo, surrendered. If you are spending the day, okay, Mother, this is what is your will, no problem. What is the truth, not what should be. What should be is a pure creation of the mind. What is the existence. What is the truth. So, what time is it? Okay. The more simple you are within, you look at things the way they are. You don't question why. Why is this flower like this? Why is that flower red? Why is this flower orange? When the why is gone, you start becoming simple, like a child. Childlike simplicity is non-judgmental. Everything else is adult-like. We might think being childish is adult. Being childish is, it is what it is, but you are like continuously crying, no, it should not be like this, it should be like that. That's childish. Being childish, we will never get there, wherever that is. It's only when you have the childlike innocence, childlike simplicity, you will experience that there is nowhere to go, no place to be, but here, at this moment, right within. Everything is right here. That simplicity, when you start really taking inside, then you will see your outside life starts simplifying. Lot of unnecessary karmas fall off by themselves naturally. Don't make an effort, but they will fall off. As Komal was mentioning in her write-up, you will have this strong urge to declutter because your inside has become so simple. You cannot stand complexity outside. Your food becomes simple. The way you want to lead your life, you want to keep it very simple. You don't want to read like 1,000 books and take 1,000 instructions and do 1,000 things. You just want to do one or two things, most simple things, and be there. Jin dhunda tin paya, pal bhar ki talash mein. These are words of saints. They cannot have any amount of lie to it. Pal bhar ki talash mein. One breath and you're there. You don't even need a breath. You close your eyes, you're there. You're already there. Rumi's guru, Shams, was questioned by some people. He said, you dervishes, we don't understand. First you leave all your family, your material wealth and everything, and you walk around looking for God. You wander from place to place looking for God. And then when you find God, you say, wait a second, He was all the while with me. I don't understand you guys. Why do you even do this? Start looking for Him and then finally come to realization, oh, He's right here. What is this foolishness? He said, yes, you're right. This is absolute foolishness. But the truth is, only the one who seeks finds Him. Yes, He is right there. He is right there. But only the one who truly seeks Him finds Him. Oh, now I'm a seeker. Another label. I am a nobody. That's a label too. I am. That's it. I just am. See how light it feels. I'm a seeker. I'm a spiritual aspirant. I am on the path. I am long way to go. I am Buddhu. Oh, I want to renunciate. How about that? Someone messaged me, I'm thinking about renunciation. I'm like, what the hell are you going to renunciate? What do you have? What is yours? The true renunciation is of the mind, of our vrittis, of our tendencies. There's nothing to renunciate but the mind, because there is nowhere to go. All right, let's all imagine ourselves as sadhus in a cave. Let's go ahead. Breathe out and center yourself. You're still here. There is nowhere to go, no one to be. Even a nobody is a label. I am. So just laugh at your mind and its labels, its creations. There is really nowhere to go. You know, the reason I'm laughing so much is because I'm remembering my own days when I had become this POS. I don't want to say it, but I had become that. You know, just no friends, always in that meditation room. I don't even know doing what. Ordering books from Amazon. Some books on Mahamudra, some books on Buddhism, some books on, I don't even know what all I did. And there was this book I was so excited to get, The Master Key to Self-Realization. I said, that's it. Now I'm going to self-realize myself. जिन ढूंढा तिन पाया, पल भर की तलाश में. And the fact that we are all listening to this is divine grace. The door is ever open. Let me correct myself. The door doesn't have a lock, but it opens. द्वार दया का जब तू खोले, पंचम स्वर में गूंगा बोले. द्वार दया का जब तू खोले, पंचम स्वर में गूंगा बोले. अंधा देखे लंगड़ा चल कर, अंधा देखे लंगड़ा चल कर, पहुँचे काशी रे. दर्शन दो घनश्याम. Sometimes the door opens. The door has opened for us. And that door can only be opened by Guru. The Guru is here. He has opened the door. The grace is flowing. What are you going to do? Ask yourself, how long are you going to hold on to the suggestions of your mind and suffer? I refuse to suffer. The other day we had a party at our house. Some women came and they asked me, Anu, how are you doing? I said, I'm doing great. So my son, he's like, she always says that she's always doing great. No matter what happens, she's always doing great. So then they were a little shocked. They said, is that right, Anu? What is this? I said, that's the discipline of my life. No matter what, I choose to only say, how are you doing? I am doing great. That's a discipline. Because the mind follows its discipline. I'll follow mine. I'm not going to tell the mind what to do. I'm just going to ignore. So make it a discipline to be happy. And then you are eligible for surrendered tattoo. Center yourself, maintain that silence within, and you will see okay, we're still here. I hope, I thought the meeting ended for a second. Anyway, So, the bottom line of today's meeting, I like simplicity in the meetings as well. The bottom line, these 40 days is to establish connection. Let us establish that connection. Establish the silence within. Work towards your inner silence. Everything else is available. Keep praying to that silence, to that presence. To me, it is so easy to fall in love with that presence because I have personified that presence as my Divine Mother. Personify, be a bhakt. Be a bhakt of that presence and surrender, surrender, surrender. Surrender and silence, 2 S's, and simplicity. That is simplicity. Just surrender, be silent, and keep it simple. Okay, let's go ahead and have our discussion. You can locate the chat and you can just type it up, whatever questions, concerns you have, or if you want to unmute yourself, go right ahead. Don't be scared. Hopefully no one will be here judging. We talked about the non-judgmental awareness. You can also use the chat. Hey Komal. You had a good laugh? I wonder why. Yes. Great, Komal. No, go ahead. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Good question, Komal. First time you asked a good question. The problem is with likes and dislikes. Any kind of likes or dislikes is judgment, right? When you see people acting a certain way, there is judgment. And judgment comes from the likes and dislikes. Remember the state we talked about. I am okay, you're okay. Whatever emotion they want to choose from within, they are free to. To be okay with however the people around me want to be. Whatever choice they want to make, perfectly fine. We have to reach that state. I'm okay, you're okay. You're arrogant, no problem, be arrogant. So, see the people that trouble you around you and discover their trait that really bothers you and meditate on the opposite of that trait within you. I'll repeat again. Watch people around you who really bother you. What is that one trait of them that really bothers you? Meditate on the opposite within you. Because you cannot be like, okay, I don't like jealousy. And this person is very jealous. So, okay, I don't want jealousy, I don't want jealousy. Okay, you're only going to attract jealousy. What is the opposite of jealousy? Inclusiveness. Everyone, included in me. So, if you want, start posting on the group the feelings that you're experiencing, and let us all come together to see what is the opposite of this, and then let's get it out of our systems. I hope that answers, Komal. Just want to express how glad I am to be part of this group. I believe it is by pure grace. You're damn right. It is pure grace. As I said, the door to the inner kingdom doesn't have a lock. You can just get in, open and get in. But for some people, the door is wide open. And that door is kept wide open by the presence of a loving, compassionate Sadguru. All glories to Swamiji. He has kept the door wide open. So till that train is available outside, work towards that silence. Work towards dropping that mind. Work towards complete surrender. Make use of the time he is available. Purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? The purpose, because people in depression, it's hard to just even lead day by day. They're like, why the hell am I even dragging this life? So, what is the purpose of life? As I had mentioned earlier, when a mother, let's say for Diwali, cooks a lot of things, the purpose of her cooking, what is the purpose of her cooking? To eat and become fat? No. To feed her kids. So the kids will enjoy, her family will enjoy. This life is given for us to enjoy, to live it up. This is Mother's creation. Just as Swamiji, he says in one of the videos, जीवन दिया है जम के जियो. आत्म साक्षात्कार का मार्ग ऐसा है कि खा पी के मस्त हो जाओगे. But the problem is खा पी के हम सुस्त हो जाते हैं. तो खा पी के मस्त हो जाना is the purpose of life. The art of life, art of living is how you can be खा पी के मस्त. So the only reason Mother creates all that delicacies during Diwali is so the kids can eat. Although she says, "Nahi, I only give you two laddus." But when the kids are eating those laddus, she sees them eat those laddus and it's as if she's enjoying like 1,000 laddus inside. That joy only a mother can understand. So when we are living it up, Anu, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Mother smiles 1,000-fold within. To make her smile constantly, I keep announcing, I'm doing great, I'm doing great, I'm doing great. How's your life? It's blessed. How's your office? It's doing great. To continuously see her smile, I say that. It is my belief too, it is my conviction too. So what is the purpose of life? Purpose of life is to live it up happily, enjoying everything Mother has given us. But without attachment, without putting a label saying, if this is not there in my life, I'm going to be distraught. That's something we shouldn't do. That's the mind. Enjoy the city that Mother has created, this beautiful city. Walk everywhere, go to different restaurants. Enjoy the movies, enjoy walking around, enjoy the beautiful weather. Because this is creation. Mother's creation is for the children to have fun. I hope I answered that. Today was a hard-hitting session. I'm glad it was. What is the opposite of bossy? Who would know that better than me? I used to be bossy. Me going into the office, the employees already know she is the one writing our paychecks. There is no doubt. There is no confusion in anyone's mind who is the boss. But something within me tells me, prove it, prove it, prove it. What is that? The mind. So then you act a certain way. Just before entering that office door, I was Anu. As soon as I entered there, Anu the boss. Who created that label? The mind. To be the way I was before entering the door is being at ease, living in your pajamas. We all must read that post today, living in your pajamas. The way you are when you are at home in your pajamas, that's how you are outside your house, inside your office, with your patients or wherever. That's one thing. Being bossy comes straight from a point of, I am here, you are all here. I am spiritually elevated, you are all not. So I am going to be bossy on you. What is the opposite of bossy? You are here, I am here, we are all one. Inclusiveness. We are all one. If there were a line here, here is Anu with all the labels, Anu the dentist, Anu the woman, Anu the wife, Anu the mother. Here we are all one, and that's the name of the Divine Mother, Malini. Every pearl looks different, but there is this string that holds all the pearls together, and that is her. Continuously identifying yourself with that, with there, wherever that is the opposite of being bossy. Bossy comes straight up from being exclusive. I am different, you are different, I am great, you are not. I am a disciple of Om Swami, you are not. I know a lot of mind dropping stuff, you don't. That's bossy. Humility, yes, humility is the opposite of bossy. Humility can also be sometimes, false. We think when we bow down, shoulders are relaxed, we are like very humble. That can also be. Inclusiveness, love is the opposite of bossy. When you really feel connected to everything, because upadhi kuch bhi ho, we are all one, because we all have that Malini, that one continuous flow of life that connects us all. To me, the ocean is the best example for that. Many waves, some small, some big, some tsunami, they're all nothing but the same water that's in the deep ocean. Love is such a powerful emotion. It can really engulf many other opposites. What is the opposite of bossy? Love. What is the opposite of jealousy? Love. What is the opposite of anger? Love. It is so complete. It's such a complete emotion. And that love starts here. You love yourself. Then the one who loves himself or herself can easily love others. But the love starts here. Love cannot be in the mirror. Love has to be here. Remember the bad hair day. Fix it here. It will start showing up outside. But that was a good question, and we should have such discussions on our group. What is the opposite of this? I'm feeling this. What is the opposite of this? How do I cultivate the opposite emotion? Anything else? So we need to focus on inclusive to avoid bossy people around ourselves. Absolutely. Whatever you are seeing around you is either because you like that particular trait or you absolutely dislike that particular trait. So if you are around bossy people, you really don't like bossy people. That's the problem. Let them be who they are. You fix the opposite. And I'm telling you, I like simplicity in everything. Cultivate one emotion, which is love. And then that's it. It will take care of everything else, all the opposites. And I said, how do you cultivate love? By connecting with yourself. Yourself is the same as his self, her self, their self. So the one who connects within, the one who loves within, the one who seeks within is complete. Stop seeking outside, stop loving outside, stop doing anything outside. Love everything, let it be here. You become inclusive. You are okay. Before I work with assistants, right? I used to get pissed off every time they would go slow giving me instruments. And that comes straight up from, I want to get this done fast, you are slow. Which means I am fast, you are slow, I am good, you are bad. But inclusive is, this is my pace, I'll work with your pace because you and I are one. I'll work with your pace, no problem, I'll be patient. So patience comes, everything comes. Focus on love, it will bring everything. Okay, so that's that. What's the opposite of worry? Action. Don't worry, take action. If you're worried, oh my God, I have so much to study, how am I going to get it done? The worry is not the solution. Action. The antidote to worry is action. Okay, I'm worried that I have so much to study, I have so much to get done. Let me put some time in. Action. Action is the antidote to worry. Opposite of worry is to be centered. Yes, because the center will tell you worry is not the solution, act on it. That's how you get stuff done. Anything else? One more minute. Okay. Okay. Let us close the session. Put your hands together, close to your heart. The reason I'm getting into details of how to invoke and how to say thank you, because we are so quick in inviting. Oh, when mother, I need your help, I need your help. Okay, help answered, happy. What about, expressing gratitude? So when we are so mindful in putting our hands together, gently, close to the heart, shoulders relaxed, head bowed in reverence, then we mean to express gratitude. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Jagannata Pahima. Okay, we will meet on the group. Be proactive. If you feel a certain way, post it on the group So we all can jump in, and that becomes contemplative meditation. When you contemplate, I'm feeling this way, how do I cultivate the opposite? That contemplative meditation also is the quickest way to Chitta Shuddhi. Okay, so I'll meet you all there. Thank you all for taking the time to come. Hari Om.